Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm here again to solve another problem on the HackerRank, which is known as number line jumps. So this is an interesting problem, and it requires some algebraic knowledge, and you will see as I proceed ahead. So let me explain what's the problem. So the problem statement says that you are choreographing a circus show with various animals. For one of the act, you are given two kangaroos on a number line ready to jump in the positive direction, that is towards the positive infinity. The first kangaroo starts at location x1 and moves at a rate of v1 meters per jump, and another is that the second kangaroo starts at location x2 and moves at the rate v2 meters per jump. So this is the visualization which is being presented on this page for this problem. So here if you see, these are two kangaroos, and one kangaroo is jumping with the speed of v1, another is jumping from a x2 position, that is as 4 to 4 with a speed velocity of v2. So when these kangaroos are jumping, we need to identify those places where I see that whether these kangaroos can meet at some point in the timeline. So if you consider this x-axis, so you see 6 value, both the kangaroos are meeting at point 6 but not meeting at 4 or 3 with different positions. So we can say that after x number of jumps, both kangaroos can land up on the same point on the x-axis. So this is the gist of this problem statement. Now how we are going to solve this problem? So first of all, I've already written here, if you see, we'll create a algebraic function or a statement which will be like saying that okay, the distance covered by kangaroo 1 is equal to distance covered by kangaroo 2 after n jumps. So if you see, the distance covered by kangaroo 1 will be x1 into v1 into j considering the number of hops, and x2 plus v2 into j will be the number of will be the distance on the x-axis covered by x2. So if we are saying this, these two kangaroos are meeting at point, say for example 6, that means that x1 plus v1 into j equal to x2 plus v2 into j. So this is the algebraic equation, and if we remember our mathematics classes in in school time, we'll solve it for j as x1 minus x2 divided by v2 minus v1. So now this is the equation which we need to solve, and j is the number of hops. And see, number of hops cannot be float, right? It cannot be a decimal value, it has to be in full form. So what we can say, safely assume that x1 and x2, when we divide it by v2 by v1, it should be an integer, right? It can never be, you can say, uh, this v2 minus v1 should divide completely this number. We should not have the remainder as 0, right? So let's start begin the coding the equation. So this equation is already written, I've already written in the problem. It's very clear. So it's a mathematical problem, and the basic funda is that okay, the distance covered by kangaroo 1 after j hops is equal to the distance covered by kangaroo 2 in the v2 into j. So j is the number of hops. So this is much, I believe this should be clear to you. So we'll define by default string as no, and str will be the result string which we will be returning. So now first of all, we should see that this is our equation. In this case, as I mentioned, that for this problem to solve, it should be integer. So if we if in any case v1 is less than v2, right, we know that okay, this equation cannot be solved, and straight away we can respond the answer as no, that both kangaroos will not be meeting. So what we can do is we have an assumptions like okay, v1 greater than v2. Now let's create the difference between x2 and x1. So x, right? So here I am saying that okay, if x diff equal to x2 minus x1, correct, and int v2 minus velocity difference will be v diff is equal to v1 minus v2. Okay, so as I mentioned that the remainder should be 0, which should have to be integer. So we can say that if x def mod velocity of def, that means v1 minus v2, right? So this equation, right? So let me correct this so that it is clear to you. Okay, okay, now that makes sense, right? X2 minus ej, j will move here, x2 minus x1, and this will become v1 minus v2. Okay, and here we can say that if the difference between these two variables equal to 0, that means at some point in the timeline such as 6, the kangaroos will meet. So we can put answer as yes. So let's solve the problem. So I hope you get the algorithm. See, so algorithm is the simple distance between traveled between by kangaroo 1 after n hops or j hops is equal to the distance covered by kangaroo 2 for the j hops. So we just need to solve this mathematical algebraic equation for the value of j, and saying that okay, this should divide the velocity difference should divide completely the distance difference. This should not be remainder, and we can assume that if there is a remainder is 0, then both kangaroos will meet at some point. So let's run the code. Is saying okay, compilation error. Okay, so I forgot to put semicolon. Let me put that and run again. Okay, so the test case has passed. Let's submit and see what is the response for the other test cases. See, so all the test cases has passed. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, please comment, share, and do subscribe to my channel for some more awesome videos I'll be showing how to solve a hacker rank problems and different system design problems, and how you can ace the interviews. And these videos will certainly help you out. Thank you, and you can find the solution of this problem in the description of the video. Thank you.